Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Put some respect on my name.
First and foremost, my numbers are better than 15, 16 or so guys that are currently in the Hall.
Here's the hand off to Taylor, looking for some cutback. He finds the room, look at Fred go. He's across the 30, look at him run. Fred's going. He's at the 50, the 40.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
20, 10, 5, touchdown. 80 yards, Fred Taylor.
Talking modern day guys at my position.
When my name come up, respect. Stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna right on it.
And he's the hand off to Fred looking for the cutback. He's got room right in the 10. Fred's there. He's at the 20. Fred's on the run to the 25 to the 30. He's going 40. Fred 50. Fred 40. Fred 30. Fred 25, 20.
Y'all saying my name, put some respect on.
You look at the guys that are in the Hall of Fame from a defensive standpoint. Ray Lewis, Derrick Brooks. Look at all these other guys they're trying to put in the Hall of Fame.
Gerard on the give. Here's Taylor.
Put some respect.
Busting through. Fred Taylor making a cut. Taylor is gone. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
These the same dudes that I murked every Sunday.
When my name come up, respect. Stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna right on it.
But he knows he doesn't have a big play team, and Jacksonville does.
Draw play. Taylor skips 2 tackles. Right, and here we go.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Brock Marion chasing. Brock Marion still chasing. Gets help from Smith. Touchdown. No flags. A 90-yard run.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Tom McManus, and Dylan Denmark.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome in Friday of Super Bowl weekend. Super Bowl 59 coming up for you. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Tom McManus, Dylan Denmark here today. Freddie T does not make it into the Hall of Fame, does not advance to the now round of 7, I guess, is the new cutoff for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And if you did get into the top 7, you automatically get to go back to the finals next year, Tony. But explain to me how those guys that did but weren't worthy of going into the Hall of Fame this year will suddenly be worthy of going into the Hall of Fame next year.
It's the question that's always been asked about the Hall of Fame process in the NFL, right? Like virtually everyone they make a finalist for the NFL eventually gets into the Hall of Fame. It's just a matter of, is it your turn to be voted in by this mysterious group of people?
But at least when in a normal year, if 5 guys get in, right, and you say,
we expect
okay,
the 5, so they're clearing the ground for the next year a little bit. Maybe this wasn't the year, but in a couple years, it opens up a little bit more. That's when we'll figure it out. It's all these guys have always had a path in. When you're down to the final 15, they've always had a path in, and now they're clouding that path.
Yeah,
and I can't understand why. For a league that you have 50 players on every roster, right? It's not like baseball where you have 9 guys that are basically playing every day, right? Like football, you have 22 starting positions, and you have to figure out who are the Hall of Famers, the cream of the crop among that. You can't even have stats for offensive linemen. Like there are places where it's difficult to figure all these kind of things out, and they've decided to complicate that process more by whatever it is that they have going on right now. It doesn't make any sense to me.
All right, explain to me. Hey, good morning, Tom McMahon.
Hey, what's happening?
All right, the 4 guys who made it to the cut of 7. And once you go to the cut of 7, what do you need? 80% of the vote at that point, right? Okay, so Willie Anderson, Luke Kuechly, Adam Vinatieri, and Torrey Holt made it to that group of 7, along with Jared Allen, Eric Allen, Antonio Gates. Those 3 got in. Sterling Sharp was in a different category, right? So those 4 guys, by the Hall of Fame voters, were deemed to be more deserving of everyone who did not get in, right? Or everyone who didn't make it to the 7, obviously, right? By the votes. So do you think that Eli Manning will have to wait until all these guys are in the Hall of Fame before he eventually makes it in? Like, he didn't even make the cut to 7.
Right.
So by logic's sake, you would say, well, there's no way he's getting in ahead of these guys because the Hall of Fame voters think they're better. They're more deserving than Eli Manning. I don't know. I think they really backed themselves into a corner.
How did Kuechly not get 80%?
Because you've got 7 guys. I don't know if they're voting on each one individually going, all right, Luke Kuechly, yes or no, right? Because the limit is 5 of going in. Right. Or I don't know if they're saying, here's the 7, now write down your 5 out of the 7. And so okay, Gates got a bunch, Jared Allen got a bunch, Eric Allen got a bunch, and those other 4 guys somewhat split the vote between themselves, right? So maybe they all got 75%. I don't know. I'm not proving the math here, but
they must have a cutoff, right?
I think it's 80%.
Okay.
You got once you make the 7, then you get voted on by the full group.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's amazing he didn't. I mean, he's one of the best linebackers of all time. Him and Ray are probably neck and neck. What do you think? Or close?
Look, I think pretty much anyone who makes the final 15 is deserving of going in the Hall of Fame.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah,
so,
sure,
yes,
sure.
if Luke Kuechly had made it in, it wouldn't shock me. Antonio Gates didn't make it last year.
Yeah, wow.
But he made it this year.
No,
right?
right.
But you had a full class go in last year. You know? So it's different. And then, of course, you have the same group that votes Lamar Jackson, the first-team All-Pro quarterback. The same exact voters.
Right.
Then turn around and vote Josh Allen as the MVP.
Yeah, that's...
Right now, I know you can argue most valuable is somewhat different potentially than best player or best season statistically, right? Because you can look at, I suppose, you can look at Lamar Jackson and go, well, he's got Derrick Henry. That's better than James Cook, right? He's got Zay Flowers, who this year was more productive than any Buffalo Bills wide receiver.
Yep.
He's got that pair of tight ends that are more productive than Kincaid and Knox.
Yeah.
You know, so he's got better help around him, but I guess you could do it that way. That surprised me, though, that Josh Allen won it last year.
Yeah, same. So what is what is how you voting on that award? You know, is it the stats? Is it, do you take them out of that team and do they crumble?
Right. What happens?
Like what is it? And is it all the same? Is the criteria the same for every voter?
I don't think it is. I always think that these MVP things, Tone, have been left up to, how you feel about what is most valuable mean. Like you said, for years, people have pointed you, well, you got to be a good team, right? Well, just because you're on a bad team, you still might have been worth more to that team.
So you're telling me Joe Burrow?
Yeah, Joe Burrow, right.
Like, shouldn't at least be in the conversation for MVP? Right. Like, he deserves to be in the conversation.
But I think back to, like, Andre Dawson winning it in baseball on a last-place team.
Sure.
How can you be that valuable? Right. Well, maybe they would have won 20 fewer games. Right. Maybe they would have been historically the worst team ever. I don't know.
Yeah. Yep.
Sometimes it is stats. And I do think there's a little bit of, it's like, in the 90s, Michael Jordan, every year. Like, people got tired of it, I felt like, and they ended up, Karl Malone ends up winning. And, I do think there's probably if not now, when? Yeah. With Josh Allen. For some, maybe. I can't speak for everyone. Because you can, I guess, argue that I don't think it's an atrocity or anything like that. It's just surprising that the same group would vote one guy first-team All-Pro, meaning the best in the league.
Right.
And vote his rival in this vote as the more valuable.
Baseball at least has the metric of WAR, and it feels like a real stat, right, in baseball. So you can at least look at that and compare this guy's WAR to that guy's WAR and figure those things out. Like, you can put those two things head to head.
Do you know what WAR is in baseball?
No.
Wins above replacement. Like, if your WAR is 7, that means compared to a replacement level player, like the guy you would the league average or the guy you'd pick up maybe off the waiver wire to fill in, you're worth 7 more wins. By your performance this year was worth 7 extra wins over a replacement level player.
Okay. Yeah.
And you can have WAR at every position, and you're comparing yourself like a pitcher.
Is that a metric they've really used?
It is wins above replacement. And I don't know what goes into the formula. How do you calculate that? But
I didn't mean was it a metric, but they use that like that's a big part of the process.
In baseball, WAR is an accepted stat, like WHIP, walks plus hits divided by innings pitch. Coming up, and as a baseball fan as a kid, there's no such thing. Nobody talked about WHIP,
right?
But that is a metric. Like how many base runners are you allowing per 9 innings? Or per inning actually, right? And if you got something around 1, you're unbelievable.
Right. Right.
But you have to reprocess how you learn some of these stats.
It's kind of like EPA in football now. I don't even totally get it. Right?
Expected points added, is that what that?
Something like that, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure exactly how they get to those numbers, but I don't think that EPA is as clean as the WAR number is in baseball already. And I think it makes it difficult in a situation like that. We were talking about it before the show. I don't think there's a wrong vote, right, between Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. I think either way that you went, you can justify voting for either of them for the MVP. Trying to figure out how you split up AP and not vote for the guy for MVP. I don't know how you're doing that math in your head.
Everyone gets a trophy.
Right. Like, what's the difference in the conversation that you're having?
I don't know.
Again, any individual voter, I can't say they felt that way. There feels like there might have been a little of that, though. Here's the other interesting thing. The AP released all the votes.
Yeah.
Like and they've not done that in the past. And Mike Florio wrote about that this morning because he was a voter. And he was already releasing his ballot, like, here's who I'm voting for in all the categories, okay? But most people don't do that, and they keep their votes private. I wonder if they knew it was going to be public, because the AP then said, oh, we forgot to include that information when they sent out like a welcome email to the 50 Hall of Fame voters, that we forgot to tell you that we're going to make them public this year. And so they did.
Everyone's going to see your homework.
And I wonder for the people that vote first team All-Pro and voted an opposite way, how much flack they're going to get. I'm sure. More in Baltimore than anywhere else.
Well, I mean, look, like you said, again, it's subjective, though. That's part of the issue, I think. Yeah, one guy thinks it's this, the next guy thinks it's that. I mean, look, your argument, you could say Josh Allen did a lot more with less. Not a lot more, but what he did was with a lot less than
you could argue that.
But Lamar put up ridiculous numbers, too, right?
He did.
I mean, how do you – I don't know. And again, what is it? Is it stats? Is it impact? Is it what if he's out of the game? What does that do to your team? You know what I mean? Like that. I don't. Again, if it's not across the board, how do you? You're going to have these different things, I guess. I mean, first team All Pro. What is that?
That means you're the best at your position.
I know, but how do you come to that? Like,
how do you come to that conclusion? I think that's more of a stats based.
All stats. Yeah.
I think it's like who performed the
Production.
best at the highest level of performance,
fair.
right?
Yeah.
And I'm not that upset about it. I'm just a little surprised. I thought there was a lot of momentum. I really expected. And then I saw somebody, and I didn't watch the show last night. I had a show of my own. I was getting ready for it. But I was following along as all the results were released. I saw somebody tweet out that Lamar Jackson didn't attend the ceremony last night.
Really?
So I think all these guys, I'm wondering if they know in advance.
Have an idea
what's going to come down. But you would think something like that, like you want the drama of surprise reveal.
Right.
To oh, my gosh, you get the reaction shot of the guy coming up on stage and all that. So
what if they have big bonuses to win MVP, those two? You know what I mean? Like in their contract.
They probably have bonuses. I bet it's inconsequential compared to their overall.
What they're making,
right? You know,
I know. But what if it was a couple mil or 2.5 or something like that?
That's not. That's a little bit more consequential. Here's another one. Looking at the votes for Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
How could you vote for any wide receiver over Brian Thomas Jr., right? Ladd McConkey, I saw, got a vote or two ahead of him.
Really?
Well, yes.
What?
Like, it goes 5 deep, right? So I saw somebody had McConkey 4th on their ballot, didn't put Brian Thomas Jr. on the ballot.
What?
He was 3rd in the NFL in receiving yards, right? He beat McConkey in, like, every category.
Yeah.
Right? And, okay, McConkey was on a winning team. What does that have to do with being the Offensive Rookie of the Year? Even Malik Neighbors had a lot more catches, but the fact that BTJ still had more yards on like 20 fewer catches tells you he was much more explosive.
Yeah.
Scored more touchdowns. Yeah. They both were on terrible teams. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, and on top of that, you had 2 different quarterbacks. Now, so did Neighbors, I guess, with Tommy DeVito and whoever else was throwing the ball. And for Brian Thomas, when did they start going to him? Like making him a focal point. Week 9, week 10, something like that?
Look, I don't have a problem with Brian Thomas not beating out Jaden Daniels.
No,
or
I
even
don't
Bo Nix, for that matter, you know, or even Brock Bowers, because they play a different position.
Had a massive year.
And he put up historical tight end numbers. Yeah. But I'm just talking about compared apples to apples. Rookie wide receivers.
Yep.
I don't see how you can justify not voting Brian Thomas Jr. as the top of that list. That's me. Bucky Irving got a few votes ahead of him. Okay, it's a different position.
Okay.
Right? And he was very impactful.
He was.
On a playoff-bound team and all that. But anyway, NFL honors in the books. Freddie Taylor is still a Hall of Famer in our eyes. He's got a Hall of Fame level of performance.
Without a doubt. He'll get there.
Eventually. And hopefully Jimmy Smith will join him.
Absolutely.
One day as well.
No doubt.
So today we're going to hear from Liam Cohen. We're going to hear from Anthony Campanale. If I said it right that time, I think guys. We got a reporter joining us from Minnesota to tell us about Grant Udinsky a little bit later on in the hour. We'll learn about him. Get all your thoughts on what the Jags have done with the coaching staff. The GM search continues on. We'll make our Super Bowl 59 predictions today as well. We had fun. We did a prop bet draft on Sirius last night. That was fun.
Yeah.
You know, the first pick, I made the first pick. I got it, I think, at plus, it might have been plus 2,000. Jalen Hurts, octopus. You know what an octopus is?
I do. I've eaten some before.
I'm not a big fan. My mom was more a fan of it than I was.
Yeah.
But octopus is when you score a touchdown and the 2-point conversion on the same drive.
Well, the 8.
So you get the 6 and the 2.
The 8.
You get the 8, the octopus, right? So my first pick was Jalen Hurts with an octopus for plus 2,000.
You'd think it'd be more like Frosty the Snowman. The 8. Now the head would throw it off. Never mind. You know what I mean? I don't know. An octopus
Kind of looks like
got
an
8 arms, and there are 8 points being scored.
Yeah, but I'm thinking that the 8.
Yeah.
That's not like, the octopus don't sit like that.
No. He doesn't.
He's playing shapes.
You're right. I'm thinking shape.
Playing numbers.
Number of appendages. You got 8 arms.
I love kindergarten, man. I really missed it.
All right. Welcome in, everybody. This is Jaguars Today. Tony Smith is here. Tom McManus. Good morning, Dylan Denmark.
What's up?
How are you?
SOS, the strip club, all the dumpster came by, and all the pieces are gone now.
You know what? Somebody texted yesterday. I don't know if
Did you
saw
take a piece home with your son?
What strip club? What's
SOS.
Oh,
apparently.
What happened?
On the
I
west
have no
side.
idea. Okay,
You know
what,
about
it closed down? No, I don't.
Yeah, they closed down a couple months ago, and they demolished it the other day.
Sad day. Somebody on the text line yesterday pointed out, now I don't know this for a fact, but I'll take their word for it because there's no harm in it, that it used to be an S&H green stamps store prior to being a strip club.
Oh, wow.
Do you know what S&H green stamps are, Tom McManus?
I don't think so.
Tony?
Nope.
Really? Wow.
What are they like?
They're like you used to go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
And based on how much you spent, they'd have a little dispenser and they'd ring up your green stamps. Like you get like one for every $1 you spent or something like that. And then you'd stick them in a book and you'd fill out these books like a sticker book, kind of. You'd fill them up.
Yeah.
They had like 50s and ones or what. You could have a page full of ones, or you could stick 150 on there. And then you could redeem them at the S&H Green Stamp store for merchandise, like anything. Theoretically, a refrigerator if you had enough, you know, or a toaster, or whatever, and everything in between. So it's just interesting to see. Like when I was a kid, I worked at Publix bagging groceries.
Okay.
And green stamps were a huge thing, you know?
I was going to say Jewel was up in Chicago. I feel like they had something like that.
Was that like a discount store, Jewel? I think we had it was called Jewel Tea. It was
a regular
was it
grocery
just a regular?
store. I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Just, just to walk down memory lane.
Talking supermarkets,
If you squint your eyes, it looks like an 8.
Look, Dylan keeps bringing up the strip club that he keeps pouring one out for, and somebody said, hey, I know that place, and that location used to be an S&H Green
Someone
Stamp
called and
store.
said it was beside it. So.
It was beside. Oh, so it wasn't actually in that same building, but it was on basically the same area, the same lot.
I guess.
All right,
it's now a Wendy's.
There you go. One day we'll go. You remember when that Wendy's used to be there?
Why does my burger
Wendy's
smell like stripper juice?
Oh no. I don't even want to ask. All right.
I can't go to the strip club if I want to go to the strip club.
Wow. All right.
Happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday. 641-1010. I'm not even going to ask you to define that, Tom.
Oh, come on.
641-1010 on the phone lines or on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, or hit us up today on social media at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, at Meathead55, and at 1010XL Denmark.
I don't got nothing else, man.
Question of the day. Who's winning the Super Bowl? That simple.
Great question.
All right, so we'll talk a little Jaguar football with you for the next couple of hours. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Wonder what Rick Ballou would be doing if he wasn't on 1010XL?
Doing my job to the best of my ability on a daily basis.
Rick Ballou.
I work here.
Evenings
I carry a badge.
on 1010XL.
Attention Attention homeowners, Chelsea here. For a limited time, Renewal by Andersen is making it easy to upgrade your home during our free window month. When you buy 4 windows or patio doors, you'll get 1 free. Our exclusive Fibrex material delivers the perfect combination of energy efficiency, durability, and style. Perfect for your home makeover this season. But hurry, this offer won't last long. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation today. Renewal by Andersen, the better way to a better window. Restrictions apply. See website for details. License number CGC 1527613.
Is your dog Team Rough or Team Fluff? It's officially Puppy Bowl season at Dogtopia Jacksonville Beach Boulevard. They're getting MVPs, most valuable pups, ready for the big game. Your dog deserves a tail-wagging day of fun, and Dogtopia's indoor playrooms are the perfect training ground for their game day moment. Get your dog in on all the action by visiting Dogtopia Jacksonville Beach Boulevard and St. John's Bluff. New to the pack? Enjoy a free day of daycare. Mention Puppy Bowl when booking to claim the offer.
These days, we do everything from our phones. That's why JEA's app lets you manage your utility services anytime, anywhere. Whether you want to view your account, pay your bill, sign up for programs, or check the outage map, you can do it all right from the app, when and where it's convenient for you. Because we want to make doing business with us as quick and easy as possible. Download the free JEA app from the App Store today. JEA, your community, your utility.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
You don't have to be a football star to get a signing bonus. The team at Republic Services needs your skills, and they're paying up to $5,000 for you to join the roster. You'll be joining a winner. As an essential business, the Republic Services trucks have not stopped rolling with hourly and weekly pay and better benefits and vacation packages than the rest of the league. Driver trainees, $1,000 sign-on bonus. CDL drivers, $3,000. Diesel mechanics, $5,000 bonus. Join the winning team at Republic Services today. Visit republicservices.com.
Equal opportunity employer.
Guys, Valentine's Day is coming. Don't run out of time. Jacksonville Flower Market on Beach and Southside has fresh, beautiful flowers she'll love. Mention radio to get 10% off. They'll even customize the bouquet so it's unique to her. Jacksonville Flower Market on Beach and Southside.
Electrical problems? Call American Electrical Contracting. 737-7770. Small jobs or large, they do them all. Work with a locally owned and operated company that will wire it right at a fair price. It's not just a slogan, it's the way they do business.
Mia O'Brien
is going to be the first woman president of the United States of America.
Catch me weekdays from noon to 2 on Helmets and Heels.
And she could run later this year even, and I would vote for her.
All things Mia are driven by Arlington Toyota on 1010XL.
Roses are red, violets are blue. A broken pipe? That's no way to woo. This Valentine's Day, don't let plumbing or HVAC problems ruin the romance. 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckrooter.com.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. No matter the weather, Triumph has an unbelievable selection of rides where you can get out and just enjoy the highway.
They do. The new Rocket is out, the new color schemes, the Tiger 1200, which has been revamped. These bikes are nice, gorgeous, and ready to ride.
And if you want to take a look at the selection, they can just roll into the showroom and see a full variety.
We've got them all in stock and ready to go.
So if you log on, cyclesofjacksonville.com, search the Triumph line, and then head into the showroom, you'll be impressed. Cycles of Jacksonville.
This is Hayes Carline for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Credit Union in the 2024 Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards, and it's easy to see why. I go to the branch off 210 in St. Johns County and the new Durbin location, but they have 10 branches in the Jacksonville area. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
At the First Coast YMCA, you'll find much more than just a gym. We offer many ways to help you be active, reach weight loss goals, and find your inner strength while you connect with your community. Family memberships at the Y include unlimited group exercise classes, childcare while you work out, and youth sports participation. It's easy to join the Y and affordable for all. Plus, the Y is a great place to meet a new circle of friends. Visit the Y near you or online at fcymca.org.
Hey, this is David with Royal Pest Services. The fact that we've been bundled up the past month gave us an idea.
Let's bundle up also with our Centricon and Pest Control bundle, starting at $349. Visit RoyalPestServices.com for your free inspection.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mac in the Middle, Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window on 1010XL.
I learned the name of this one yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
I also did not know. I don't know a whole lot about Kendrick Lamar. I mean, I'm well aware who he is. I'm well aware of his beef with Drake.
Yeah, the beef. Right.
I'm well aware how popular he is because my son loves him.
Yep.
You know, and most of his friends do as well.
Yeah.
And but I did not know the name Squabble Up. And I also
I've heard of Squabble Up.
Oh, here you go.
Yeah.
We're of course.
This is a car ride into high school.
We're jamming with.
Yeah.
This is a car ride into high school.
With my daughter today. I mean, not today, but these days, yeah.
Kendrick's been around a lot longer than I thought.
Yeah, she loves listening to this stuff.
I didn't realize he was 5'5".
Oh, he's a little dude?
He's a wee
How big's Drake? Are they going to duke it out, or what's the problem?
I don't think so. I don't think
Is this
anybody.
an East Coast, West Coast thing? Or
I don't think anybody get. Well, it'd be north-south, right?
North-south.
Drake's Canadian, right? I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't think they will.
He's doing the halftime.
Yes.
Yeah. I hope he brings out SZA. Have you heard her?
Oh yeah.
Man, she's got a cool voice.
You've been on SZA for a couple of years.
Her voice is just so soulful, man. I
didn't know anything about her until a few years ago. She went on SNL. That's how I learned about anybody, because I don't really listen to new music. You know,
never up that late on a Saturday unless I'm out.
Really?
Never. I haven't watched Saturday Night Live in I don't know.
I have not
30
been to
years.
bed before 11:30, and I couldn't tell you when.
Right. Well, you're a night owl.
I am a night owl.
You're working at night.
I work. Yeah, I do work a lot at night. I nap in the afternoon sometimes for a couple hours.
Yeah, sure.
And it's just a weird shift. It is what it is. Not complaining. It's just, you know.
Oh, I was up at 4:30 today, man. And just my clock got
You're
me
a tough guy.
No, I just, you know what? I like the quiet. It's nice. Me and the hounds just hanging out.
Hounds.
Coffee.
Congrats to Eric Armstead for winning Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year. All kidding aside, it's a phenomenal award.
Unbelievable.
And I think this was the 5th time he had been a finalist for it. Second Jaguar to win it, along with Calais Campbell.
Right.
Now move your butt inside.
That's right.
And go get some pressure.
That's right.
From the defensive tackle position, please.
No, listen, look, you have Tuesdays off. You got your nights off. The guys that are up for that award, pretty much their time off is they're spending helping somebody out there. You know what I mean? Tuesdays normally, like, you'd be off. Like, you don't have to
playing
come in.
video games,
hanging
out, sleeping.
Yeah, sleeping,
golfing,
relaxing,
whatever.
But a lot of the guys like Eric, they're going to visit hospitals. They're going to see schools. They're reading whatever they're doing.
Jags have a lot of good programs. Every team in the NFL, most
they all have their candidate that goes up for the award every year.
Yep.
Every team gets a nominee, and it is kind of a weird thing because, I want to celebrate it.
Yep.
You know that Armstead is doing that kind of work in the community. It's hard to get past the football thing with Armstead right now, right? Like, it just is. When it got announced, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
You know, like, that was kind of my cool. You know, like, I'm glad he's doing a bunch of stuff in the community. Can he do something for his teammates?
Yeah.
You know, like, at some point in this process, and it's hard for me to completely split the two in my head. Like, I'm glad that he's doing what he's doing in the community and for the kids and doing everything that he's doing and being worthy. Whatever the work he's doing is worthy enough to get that award.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Right? That he's got that kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
Who told him to play inside again?
Right.
Or outside?
Well, that's the mystery.
Right?
You know?
Like, that kind of thing. I'm more concerned about the football thing because that's what I do.
Yeah.
You know, like,
you.
I talk about the football thing every day, but I'm glad he's helping the community. That's awesome.
I thought his speech was great. You know, he talked about his mom and dad. I thought that was awesome, about humanity. So, look, he sounds like a really good guy. But I'm with you. Listen, man, let's get it done on the field. But I'll just say this. If he's winning the Man of the Year award, he's dedicating a lot of time to other people. Yeah. So that's a really good thing.
Like,
by
the
way,
Calais thing was full-throated. The whole fan base still brags about Calais.
Oh, yeah.
You
Absolutely.
know, because the player and the off-the-field stuff.
When they
met.
come together, they're phenomenal.
He was already the mayor, too.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, he's the mayor of Saxonville, and he had such a phenomenal season. By the way, a couple of people sent this along. Josh Allen got a $1.5 million bonus since you brought that up. It's not chump change, but those guys are making $40 to $50 million a year. I mean, it's still very significant money, but I don't think it changes his lifestyle.
What we don't know is, like, out of the 40, is 38 gone already? They need the 1.5.
I don't know though. He's with Haley Steinfeld. She's got her own money too,
That's right.
so they're a power couple.
They are.
All right. Speaking of power couples, Regina is a power individual, and she joins us here on Jaguars Today. Good morning, Regina. How are you?
You're too funny, Mike.
Am I? Duval, Regina. What's up?
Right. Well, I enjoyed your walks down memory lane. In Massachusetts, where I grew up, it was A&P grocery stores, and I remember
A&P. I remember the A&P. Yep.
Yeah. Remember that?
I did a commercial for A&P in college.
Yeah.
I did.
And you
TV.
guys is definitely Massachusetts. For the question of the day, I want the Eagles to win, but somehow I think Mahomes and Reed are going to pull it off in the last few seconds of the game. And from question to you, Thomas, how are the players going to feel about people coaching them very close to their age, especially the OC at age 29? I heard the hacker had someone on from the Vikings, but he said, this guy is phenomenal. He's got promotions every year since he's been in the NFL. But, are they going to take to someone who's 29 telling them what to do? And I'll take your comments off the air. And go Jags.
Go Jags. Thank you, Regina.
I think it can happen. And let's look. Sean McVay got it done at a real young age, right? He did it through his own way, through his own, play calling and all that side of it. But he gets those guys to play every single time, it feels like. It's going to be a challenge. So I just think with how young the staff is, I would have liked to seen a little more veteran, resumes, I guess, if you will. But that doesn't mean these young guys can't get it done. They're just going to have to make sure that whatever the philosophy is you better fill that room with guys that like that kind of philosophy. So that's what they got to match up.
All right, we'll talk Grant Udinsky when we come back on the other side. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. At 1010XL. 1010XL is your home for Jacksonville University basketball.
The Dolphins swim back to Swisher Gym. J.U. Bellerman. Tomorrow at 7 on 1010XL.
Hey, folks, Hicken here for Zero Res. And right now, the hottest price of the year. Listen, we all know we have a pretty notable football game in February just around the corner. The big game, that's what they make us call it. So if you are having people over for the big game, you're going to want to get your carpets clean. Maybe before the game, maybe after the game. Schedule now, and you'll get 3 rooms for $147. And the 4th room is free. 4th room on me. Hottest price of the year. Zero Res, man. It's the right way to clean.
CEROREC. Zero Res.
Jacksonville, get ready to spice up your night at One Night Taco Stand. Every Taco Tuesday, enjoy their mouth-watering tacos for just $2.99 and get your weekend started with 2-for-1 house margaritas. Find fresh Mexican street food, stiff drinks, and fun vibes at One Night Taco Stand with 3 Jacksonville locations in Mandarin, Orange Park, and Southside at Bay Meadows.
Denny Thompson here. This is the last week to enter for a chance to win a $2,500 prize over at the new Tyson Sound and Security showroom. I'm talking a 75-inch loaded Samsung TV with 3D surround sound, a soundbar with wireless subwoofer, and installation is included. Stop by the new showroom, check out the setup, and drop your name in the box to enter for your chance to win. Giveaway ends Sunday, so go now to Tyson Sound and Security, 3555 U.S. Highway 17 in Fleming Island.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks, and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Get ready for ice-cold action with the Jacksonville Icemen. Experience the thrill of hockey, the excitement of the game, and the local spirit. Full promotional schedule at JacksonvilleIcemen.com. Join the Icemen for a season full of unforgettable moments.
Learn more about the beautiful game of soccer and its impact on the River City.
What a beautiful thing to behold.
Get an hour of soccer talk on the Sporting Jack Soccer Hour.
That's all I want to know.
Tuesday at 6 p.m. on 1010 a.m.
3D Digital has you covered for any of your business's digital marketing needs. From producing award-winning videos to getting those digital ads to follow your customers around the internet, our team has your back. Visit 3ddigital.com or give us a call at 904-712-4004 to schedule a free consultation today. 904-712-4004.
If you're getting engaged this Valentine's Day, Beards Diamonds has Jacksonville's largest selection of engagement rings, lab-grown diamonds, and GIA-certified loose diamonds, even Rolex watches, all at the lowest prices guaranteed.
At the St. John's Town Center or shop online at beardsdiamonds.com.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
Looking for a great place to enjoy some craft creations and soak up some scenery? Fernandina's Mocama Beer Company is a must-see and must-try. Nassau County knows it. Visitors need to find out about it. Mocama means near the big water where the sun is born. And if you visit their tap room in Fernandina Beach, you'll see how they've mastered equal parts precision and art in creating great flavors from IPAs to pilsners, lagers, and sours, plus plenty more. Mocama.com, Mocama Beer Company. Start an adventure and find them in Fernandina.
Prosser here, still telling you about Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Lifetime Enclosures is keeping the sale going into February. Enclosures starting at only $89 a month, and if you get a complete enclosure done, you get free flooring. If you just need flooring, Lifetime Flooring is running a buy one room, get the second room free. Now offering floor coating for that garage or patio deck too. Give them a call or visit their showrooms just off Phillips Highway. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about how God never fails us. In the Bible, Christ says this: I will in no way fail you or leave you without support. This is so important to remember because we can have the attitude, where is God when I need him? Why is this problem happening to me? No, just because your mind is saying one thing doesn't mean that God isn't going to do what he said. God has never failed us in the past. He's not about to start right now.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window on 1010XL.
All right, we have filled out a lot of the major components here in Jacksonville. I say it as if I had anything to do with it, but Liam Cohen has hired his coordinators, including an up-and-coming 29-year-old. Can there be any other kind of 29-year-old? I guess like if you're in gymnastics, maybe you're over the prime. But generally in life, you're up-and-coming at the age of 29. And Grant Udinsky is that guy coming from Minnesota, where he was covered by Vikings beat writer for the St. Paul Pioneer Press, Dane Mizutani, who joins us right now on Jaguars Today this morning on 1010XL. Dane, good morning. Thanks for getting up with us. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
We're all right. Well, we'll be doing a lot better if you tell us wonderful things about what we're getting in this 29-year-old, as you had described him yourself on your social media feed, a rising star in the industry. What is it about Grant Udinsky that makes people sit up and take notice, in your opinion?
Yeah, there's just something about the way he's able to just digest the game and kind of then take what he knows and relay it to his players in a way that makes sense to everybody. Obviously, people are going to look at what Sam Darnold did last year, and they should when looking at Grant Udinsky's resume. because Grant Udinsky worked with Sam Darnold day in, day out, and he played a big role in the success he had. But the thing I would point to with Grant Udinsky that I think maybe probably goes and flies under the radar now because it was kind of just a moment in time in Minnesota was last season when Josh Dobbs gets traded to the Vikings and he has that 2-game stretch where he's just incredible before the league kind of figures him out. He intook the entire playbook, working pretty tirelessly with Grant Udinsky around the clock as soon as he got traded. So I think that speaks to kind of his ability to teach, is that he was able to take a guy who just got traded here and kind of download everything he needed to him in that offense, so he could go out and perform at a high level for, even though it was only 2.5 games, it was still an electric moment in Minnesota. So you're getting a really special teacher in Grant Udinsky and a guy who everybody thinks very highly of.
Yeah, why should Jaguars fans have confidence in a guy like Grant Udinsky? This is the first time he's going to be a official, handed the reins as a coordinator officially in the National Football League. Why should Jaguars fans feel confident about him stepping up into that kind of role?
Yeah, I think the guy who won Coach of the Year would be a good advocate for him last night. Kevin O'Connell put a lot on Grant Udinsky's plate on a weekly basis, and that just speaks to the trust he has in him. And I think if you're getting a vote of confidence from Kevin O'Connell, who has proven in his 3 years to be one of the best coaches in the league, if you're getting a vote of confidence from that guy as a 28-year-old, now 29-year-old, I think that says everything that needs to be said. He is a guy who I think a lot of people on the staff gravitated towards just because of his knowledge and his ability to kind of connect with players, like I said. So I think that's a reason to believe in him, is because of what he's able to get out of his players, how he's able to connect with them, being pretty close to the same age, maybe even younger than some of them. But I think the fact that Kevin O'Connell believed so strongly in him is reason enough to believe in him yourself.
Hey, Dane, great to have you on the airwaves down here. When you look at Grant and what he's done with the quarterbacks up there, you mentioned Dobbs, you mentioned Darnold. What is it like? Does he get him to see the field better? Is it mechanics? He gets him to settle down. How does he get the most out of his QBs, do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of everything, and I think more than just one specific thing, it is just having that aggregate of knowledge to kind of impart on these guys. But I think beyond the teaching and like the intricacies of here's what you're seeing, here's what you should be seeing, just his ability to connect. I really do think like being a 29-year-old and being able to connect with players in a way that gains their respect, because sometimes they can feel like, if he's so close in age, it feels more like a peer, and why should I listen to you if you're my coach, but I'm older than you or I'm the same age? But he was able to do that, and I think that's probably his biggest strength, is his people skills. And then obviously you go into the football acumen that he has. It's vast and it's growing too. And the fact that a kid who's 29 years old has already a wealth of knowledge, having worked now with Kevin O'Connell for 3 years, I think all of those things together are probably why he interviewed with 3 or 4 teams this year before the Jacksonville Jaguars finally snatched him up.
Right, because it's not like they were the only team that said, we found this kind of obscure guy. He's seen as a rising star. It'll be interesting to see where his trajectory takes him, because he comes in here, Dane, as you know, with Liam Cohen planning to call plays. So it's a little bit of a different type opening. Not everyone would be interested in that job. But when you're 29 and you got the chance to become a coordinator, and I think they've got a few talented pieces to work with, I think you jump on that. So let me ask you while we got you here, Sam Darnold had a terrific year until the final couple of games, regular season finale and the playoff game. And I saw that Kevin O'Connell said he's earned the right to be a free agent. Well, teams that feel like they want to bring a guy back, they don't go, well, he's earned the right not to be franchise tagged. And that seems to be what they're indicating. Seems like that is a price point above what Minnesota would be interested in. Is there interest in bringing Darnold back at the right price, or is this J.J. McCarthy full steam ahead?
I think at the right price, it might make sense for if we're talking extension. And I think it has to be a pretty firm line in the sand that the Vikings draw and say, we won't go above this number. If you're willing to take this, come on back. And I think the reason they would welcome him back is because yes, I think there is a ton of belief in J.J. McCarthy, and there should be. The growth he showed from even spring to summer last year was pretty astounding, and I think he was going to make that a competition if he didn't suffer that torn meniscus. But he didn't play last year, and everyone talks about the redshirt year and how that can be valuable to a quarterback. And yes, it can be, but he wasn't on the field. He didn't practice with the team. He saw, they attached a GoPro to Sam Darnold's helmet, and that's pretty much how he saw a lot of the practice. So I think if you are the Vikings and you are thinking about the long-term future of J.J. McCarthy, maybe it does make sense at the right price point to bring Sam Darnold back. I think also franchise tagging him makes sense if, I don't think it would be considered tampering, but if you go to the combine and you have a couple conversations over a couple beverages with some GMs or some coaches that might say, hey, we would give you something for this guy, then maybe you franchise tag him and you ensure that you get something for him rather than lose him for nothing, but a comp pick next year. So there's a lot of options on the table. I don't know if the Vikings have decided which way they want to go with it yet, but I think that the fact that a guy like Sam Darnold is even in the conversation to be franchise tag kind of speaks to the year he had, albeit it ended pretty sourly with the final two games.
Yeah, by the way, 100% that would be tampering, and 100% the NFL doesn't care. I mean, it's clearly tampering. It's against the rules, but every team does it, so I don't even know why the rule is in place half the time. But that is not our concern down here in Jacksonville. Dane Mizutani from the Pioneer Press. You can find Dane at his name, Mizutani, just like it sounds, is where you'll find him on the X platform covering the Minnesota Vikings. Dane, thanks for the time today. Good luck to the Vikes, and enjoy Super Bowl 59. Who you got, by the way? Who's winning?
I'm not picking against Patrick Mahomes. I can't do it.
All right.
I got the Chiefs.
All right, the Chiefs it is. Dane, thanks so much for your time this morning, buddy.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, there you go. So, Grant Udinsky.
Yeah, good people person.
Interesting write-up. I think Ben Gessling's going on with Helmets and Heels later today. He did a piece on him during the season.
Yep.
And basically, if he's not eating, sleeping, drinking football, like he's one of these total football junkies. If he's not doing that, he's mountain climbing. And he's completely off the grid, like so it's one or the other. If he's not on the side of a mountain somewhere.
Out. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their downtime. Yep. That's kind of what we know about him right now.
Just got to get the players locked in.
And no question about it.
Work.
You know what? Let's hear now via Jaguars.com, Anthony Campanile, the new defensive coordinator. We talked about him last week coming in, and he got a chance to catch up with Jaguars.com this week. Liam Cohen did as well. We might get to some of that audio in the second hour, but just wanted to go through, let us hear from the new defensive coordinator here and what stood out to him about the Jacksonville Jaguar job.
Just really honestly, the biggest thing was I felt really good about the roster here. Felt really good about the people here. My relationship with Liam, that was awesome. The whole interview process was awesome. The other thing is just it's a tough city. There's tough people here, and we're going to have a tough defense. So to me, that was an important part of it, the following of the fans. So just super excited for the whole thing.
Yeah, we'll see if he can bring that kind of attitude to the football team, Tommy. It's certainly the attitude he brings personally at everything that we've seen him do to this point. But he was also asked about how long he's known the coach here in Jacksonville now, Liam Cohen.
We've known each other for quite a while. Just working camps up in the Northeast, coaching football in college, I should say. But yeah, known each other over the years and kind of kept up with each other. And obviously, he's done an incredible job everywhere he's been.
All right, who is he excited to work with? Which players does he recognize on the Jaguars defense that are going to be key to what he wants to get done?
Really, I think when you watch the tape, I'm excited about all these guys. There's some really good young talent, some talent on the perimeter, some talent on the edges, some guys inside that I'm really fired up about. Some of the off-the-ball players inside, you got some tough physical guys. So I'm just excited to bring our play style here and get to work with these guys, and create a great atmosphere.
Excited about all of them, Tom.
Yeah.
I mean, what else is he going to say?
Josh Allen, Trayvon Walker, I don't know. You can name a couple.
Yeah.
Excited about all of them, Tom.
But he talks about play style. What is the play style exactly? He was asked, does he know what kind of scheme he wants to run here?
Now, we know what we're going to do, from a schematic perspective, but the most important thing to us is our play style. That we're violent at the point of attack. We got guys that believe in not being blocked. We got guys that run to the ball, and we got guys that violently finish at the point of attack every rep. That's what's going to be valued here. We can't wait to get that culture in place.
Yeah. Did you believe in not being blocked, Tom?
Well, let me just tell you this. You don't want those big guys getting their hands on you when you're only 240 pounds. Let me just say that. So hit them before they get you.
Didn't it sound like he's saying, like, we're not going to accept, like, hey, this guy got into me. I'm going to fight. Yeah. I want guys with the mentality that just because the guy gets his hands on me doesn't mean the play's necessarily over.
Right. Well, listen, it all starts up front. If those guys don't get knocked back 5-10 yards back, they're good to go. I mean, look, I like what he's saying. It's going to be an aggressive. I tell you, I feel like I'm going to see some pursuit drills out there, which is desperately needed. So those are good conditioning things, too, to get the practice started. But, yeah, running to the ball and finishing violently. I mean, it all sounds great. Now it's just got to be delivered, and they gotta deliver themselves.
Speaking of needing to run certain kind of drills, right?
Yep.
And granted, I saw the story. Who's the guy who dumped the Gatorade? Jim Burt, right, from the Giants back in the day, dumped it on Parcells at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I remember that.
And the Bears claim they did it the year before in the regular season or whatever. But whatever. Okay, it was the first time in the Super Bowl it was done. Everyone's like, oh, what an amazing celebration.
Yeah.
Right? And they follow it up. Apparently, Parcells. It made me think of it when you're talking about running these drills.
Yeah.
Almost, to punish, like to show them this is what it's all about. He wasn't happy with something that Jim Burt was doing. So he made him take his 20 or 25-pound dumbbells and throw jabs at a wall for 45 minutes.
Wow.
And made everybody, like, at the end of practice, like, everyone had to watch as if to say, if you don't do what I say, you're going to be ended up doing this kind of thing, right? Which is, like, if that happened now, Players Association would be involved in that so quick it feels like. But maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, so when Burt did it, he said, I was getting him back. Like, he dumps the Gatorade. He put the whole bucket on Parcells' head.
Yeah.
Like, it was not, yay, we won. It was more like, hey, you so-and-so.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure he was celebratory in the moment, too.
I don't know. Doing some shadow boxing for 45 minutes better than practicing.
I mean, 45.
At least with golf was practice.
Could you shadow box
not
for
with
45
20,
minutes
not
with
20-pound weights. No.
I mean, that seems
a lot. But Jim Burt was a pretty thick dude.
He's a big boy.
Who was the guy that was it Montana? He pummeled in the chest. Remember that? He came in on not a late hit, like he just threw and he buried Montana.
I think it might have been.
Yeah. I think he took him out of the game, I think. I don't think he returned.
Yeah, I think that was Burt that made the hit.
Yeah, Burt crushed him.
It was him or Carson.
I think it was Burt,
Yeah.
but Harry Carson was one of my favorites, too.
All right, when we come back, that again, courtesy of Jaguars.com from Anthony Campanile, the new defensive coordinator for the Jags. We talked a little bit about Grant Udinsky. Liam Cohen spoke with Jaguars.com this week, so we'll get in a few of his comments. We got to talk a little bit about the Super Bowl as well. Yeah. Tony's going to take us around the league, so a lot to do in hour two. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars
Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
I remember being in the backyard, getting the football and throwing it up and running and go catch it. And then I'd be like for the crowd, and like, that's what I wanted to do. And I got an opportunity to do it.
1010XL.
It's what you dream of.
It all begins with Speed Weeks, presented by Advent Health, February 12th through 16th. The Daytona 500 is sold out, but you can still win a 4-pack of tickets to all the other Speed Weeks races. What driver won the 2024 Daytona 500? Text the driver's last name to 641-1010. What driver won the 2024 Daytona 500? For a chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to the Speed Weeks races, text the driver's last name to 641-1010.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
Love is in the air this February, but nothing kills the mood like a plumbing or HVAC problem. Whether it's a leaky pipe, a backed up septic tank, or your heater isn't keeping things cozy, don't worry. We've got you covered. Call Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Our expert team is here to keep your home running smooth, no matter the issue. When you're stuck, call the Duck, 904-862-6769, or online at duckduckrooter.com.
Is your dog Team Rough or Team Fluff? It's officially Puppy Bowl season at Dogtopia Jacksonville Beach Boulevard. They're getting MVPs, most valuable pups, ready for the big game. Your dog deserves a tail-wagging day of fun, and Dogtopia's indoor playrooms are the perfect training ground for their game day moment. Get your dog in on all the action by visiting Dogtopia Jacksonville Beach Boulevard and St. John's Bluff. New to the pack? Enjoy a free day of daycare. Mention Puppy Bowl when booking to claim the offer.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Listen up, Googans. Hicken here, still talking skin. This time I want to give you some great advice for Valentine's Day. Look, don't buy anything that either dies or adds pounds. Go see the girls at Beaches Dermatology and get a gift card or even a specific skin treatment, one that will enhance her beauty, maybe even help her look like she did when y'all first met. It's possible. Skin treatment is very important, and a gift from Beaches Dermatology makes a perfect gift this Valentine's Day. For locations, go to beachesdermatology.com.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach, WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Yo, E.T. here, and don't let Valentine's Day sneak up on you. Plan the perfect romantic getaway in Clay County. Stay at one of Clay's beautiful Airbnbs or in luxury at Club Continental, a boutique riverfront retreat, and treat your special someone to an unforgettable dinner at the Hilltop Restaurant. Trust me on this one. Clay County is the perfect spot for romance. Start planning today at exploreclay.com and tag those romantic moments with hashtag ExploreClay.
The housing market is as busy as ever on the First Coast. And if you've moved in or moved on, make sure you have a team of trained electricians ready to help. American Electrical can make sure you're up to date electrically and maximize your living experience. Smart home automation services, home theater systems, outdoor and dock lighting, and backup generators. American Electrical can do it all. A team you can trust with highly trained technicians ensuring you have the best living experience. American-electrical.com, a leader on the First Coast and powered by professionalism.
Before termites attack your home or business and cause costly damage, Terminix it. At Terminix, we know how to stop termites. These destructive pests have been around for millions of years, but before they show up, so do we. And their time is up. Don't live with a termite problem? Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com. Terminix it.
Mia here. Since 1982, Closets by Design has specialized in creating dream spaces for every budget. My designer, Frances, made the process so easy. She came to my house and designed a beautiful walk-in closet that's already so incredibly functional for me and old Beau Valentine. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation at 1-800-293-3744 or visit closetsbydesign.com. And take advantage of extended savings this month. Get 40% off and another 15% off with 18-month special financing.
Got a cracked windshield? Not only is it dangerous, but did you know it's also illegal? Call Baker Glass. Mack and his crew use the best auto glass in the market, and they accept most insurance. Plus, all new windshields come with a full warranty. From cars, to trucks, to RVs, you can count on Baker Glass to be fast and friendly. Just check out their Google reviews. Come see us at the shop on Casta Avenue, or we can come to you at your home or business.
I'm back with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Hey, Hicken here, or just call me Dreamfinders Danny. For a limited time to ring in the new year, Dreamfinders Homes is offering an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down that rate and get in the game. You heard me right. It's 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for more details.
This is Molly McDonald with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update, brought to you by Advanced Business Solutions. The Jacksonville Jaguars announced they hired a new defensive coordinator, Anthony Campanile, last week. Campanile was most recently with the Green Bay Packers as a linebackers coach and run game coordinator. He recently spoke on what made Jacksonville so appealing to come and be a part of.
Just really, honestly, the biggest thing was I felt really good about the roster here. Felt really good about the people here. My relationship with Liam, that was awesome. The whole interview process was awesome. The other thing is just it's a tough city. There's tough people here, and we're going to have a tough defense. So to me, that was an important part of it. The following of the fans. So just super excited for the whole thing.
Anthony Campanile, courtesy of Jaguars.com. It's 70 degrees at 10:58. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Tom McManus.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window on 1010XL.
All right, Super Bowl 59 weekend. We'll get to our thoughts on the game coming up here as the hour plays out. Going to hear a little bit from Liam Cohen, who was with JP Shadrick over at Jaguars.com earlier this week. So just a few selected thoughts from the new head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still awaiting news on a general manager hiring, although we've heard that a lot of these interviews are going to be taking place beginning on Monday. They've got a lot of guys lined up, maybe just want to get past the Super Bowl. A lot of a lot of folks, you've been there, Tom, plenty of Super Bowls. A lot of folks from organizations want to be in that town for a variety of reasons.
Great party.
Right? It's a great parties, but it's also
great networking.
So all that is taking place. I don't think Jameis Winston ever got on Shad Khan's yacht. Did you see?
No, he tried to.
I saw he was efforting.
Yeah.
Efforting.
That's funny, man.
Didn't make it on there. Jameis. He's going to have a post-playing career doing nonsense stuff, like this for somebody when it's all said and done. All right, let's go around the National Football League.
Now, Gems Around the NFL, brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
Kansas City wide receiver Sky Moore was limited in practice for the second straight day on Thursday. Philadelphia right tackle Lane Johnson told the Philadelphia Inquirer that he knew about 4 or 5 players that were dealing with an illness before they even left Philly for New Orleans. Last weekend, Quinion Mitchell reportedly dealing with laryngitis as they get ready for the Super Bowl. Carolina wide receiver Adam Thielen is returning for his 12th season in the 2025 season. His return was a question after Thielen told teammates at the end of last season in Carolina that he was seriously considering retirement, but will be back for at least 1 more year. Seattle has reworked their deal with defensive tackle Leonard Williams, which will save them about $15 million on the cap this year. The NFL has announced that they will play a game in Dublin, Ireland this year. Pittsburgh has been announced as the home team for that game. Virginia Hallis McCaskey, the daughter of George Hallis, passed away on Thursday at the age of 102. She has served as the principal owner of the Chicago Bears since 1983.
All right, thank you, Tone. Leonard Marshall is who blew up Joe Montana.
Oh, it was?
Yes. Several people mentioned it. Somebody said Wilbur Marshall. It's Leonard Marshall, and I went back, and you could, when you type Leonard Marshall in,
probably get that play.
Before you finish typing his name, it goes Leonard Marshall, Joe Montana. Right
How
there
about
in
Jim?
Google.
Put in the other guy. He's got to have one. He hit somebody.
I
really
think the one,
good.
I've got it right here, where he comes from behind. Montana's extending the play, rolling out to the right. He makes somebody miss, and then,
That's Leonard Marshall.
Yeah, Leonard Marshall
I remember that.
drills him right between the 1 and the 6.
Burt was right up the middle. I swear it was Montana, but it was somebody.
You might be right.
He crushed somebody.
Jim Burt.
That's when he used to be able to bury the quarterback into the ground.
Jim Burt.
Well, why do they make such a big deal about breaking collarbones and stuff, man? It's part of the game.
Jim Burt, Joe Montana does fill out. Jim Burt knocks out Joe Montana.
It's the first Super Bowl
in an 86 NFC divisional round game. So it depends on which hit you're thinking about.
Okay.
Right?
There you go. Man, Joe got crushed.
Joe was getting blown up quite a bit.
Good, because he was mean. Remember that time in New Orleans he was mean?
You know, they were talking yesterday. I think it was XL Primetime. I was in the car, and they were talking about, have we seen a situation where a quarterback is, at whatever stage, is replaced with another quarterback, and they both go to the Hall of Fame. Right? And because they were talking about Phillip Rivers, and then will he one day get in? And, of course, Drew Brees. They moved off to Drew Brees, and they decided to go with Phillip Rivers. Obviously, Drew Brees is going to be a Hall of Famer. Phillip Rivers maybe one day, probably, could be, whatever. But, I mean, the Niners moved off of Joe Montana for Steve Young.
Yeah.
Eventually they were like, that. We can't wait any longer.
Yep.
We got the young buck in here now.
I told you my Joe Montana story, didn't I?
Do tell, as I watched the Jim Burt hit on Montana.
Yeah, I wish I hit him, but I didn't. But I was trying out for the Saints, and we had a dual practice with the Chiefs. And I got called out to go do 7-on-7, and they broke the huddle. And Joe Montana was the quarterback, and I was like, and I totally screwed up the assignment because I was such an. And Marcus Allen was the running back, and I was just like, oh my god, it was incredible. And then Joe gave me a high five. We were walking past each other. A little high five.
Holy cow! I forgot that hit. I just saw it.
Oh yeah, it's an unbelievable hit.
Yeah,
it almost
look
looked
at
like
this thing, Tommy. Here he comes.
Yeah.
I got to get it.
Look at him lie there.
I've got a 2-minute clip here, and they still haven't shown the play.
It's in the last 30 seconds.
Oh, look at him. He can't breathe.
Okay, I think I got it now. All right, let's see.
Joe's having trouble breathing.
Did you have the Leonard Marshall hit available over there?
Yeah.
Just want to see which one you think is worth. Oh yeah, that was just like a forearm to the shoulder kind of thing, and just destroyed him. I mean, they're both pretty bad. But yeah. It looks like Montana was hurt much worse by Burt. I don't know. They're both
good hits.
But yeah, man, he got ragdolled. I mean, completely decleated.
So fun to watch.
We were right and wrong. It really just depends on
nobody's wrong.
He got blown up a bunch of times, apparently, this Joe Montana fellow. Turned out to be okay, though. So
yeah, I'd say.
Man. All right, let's see. A few thoughts from Liam Cohen. This is from courtesy of Jaguars.com. Earlier this week, asked by J.P. Shadrick, how does he gain the trust of the organization and from the players, considering he's a first-time head coach?
It just starts with honesty and communication, right? That when I was interviewed for the position, okay, what are the things that maybe the Jacksonville Jaguars can improve on? Here's my evaluation. This is an honest, open conversation that we're having. And then be able to go back and forth on some of those values, the moral compasses, the standards at which you want to kind of operate at, right? And then once we do get the staff in and the players in, it's having similar conversations just in a different way, right? And how do we reach all these guys in a different way? Everybody learns differently. Everybody adapts to change differently. And I think that's what's going to be important about getting our boots in the ground and really have a good understanding of, all right, these are the guys we're working with. How do we go make them better?
Yeah, look, it's exactly what you were talking about, Tommy.
Yeah.
Right? It's about getting everyone to buy into whatever the plan is.
Yeah.
And different guys are going to respond to different things different ways. So you got to figure out who's going to respond to what in the right way.
Yeah, no, I was thinking you hear the defense coordinator, we've got to be violent. You've heard Liam say we've got to be tough up front, physically, mentally, all that. I'm looking forward to seeing what I just had this video, what is camp going to be like? Like, how do you be violent without being violent in camp?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's hard to, really become violent all of a sudden as a unit. I'm not saying individually you can't, but it'd be interesting how Liam Cohen runs his first training camp.
No doubt. Coach Cohen was also asked about his plans for the situation that we all know. This is the biggest thing going on in the organization. What are his plans for quarterback Trevor Lawrence?
Trevor's an extremely talented football player. He's a quarterback in the sake of the word, right? When you watch his purest throw, I mean, that looks like what you really kind of want to build in a lab in a lot of ways, right? Tall, big, strong, athletic. Those are unbelievable things. And then you start to get to know him a little bit, right? You start to hear the humility and what he wants to bring to this city and to this organization. That's exciting, right? And that's where you looked at it like, man, he's willing. He's very much so capable. He's shown to do so before. Now, how do we help him around, right? How do we help around him be better in the run game, defend it a little bit better to make sure that, hey, we can maximize him to be at his best when his best is required?
Look, I understand Shad Khan came back in over the top and boosted the money that he was offering to Liam Cohen up to, they call it Ben Johnson level, like around 12 million, 13 million, whatever the exact number is. I'm not sure, but so that is certainly a factor. But Liam Cohen could have stayed in Tampa as the highest paid coordinator in football, at least at the time he would have signed that contract. I don't think he takes the job if he doesn't think he can win with Trevor Lawrence, because you're locked into him as your quarterback for the foreseeable future.
Okay, and I agree with that. And let's be honest, like he said, he's very talented. We know this. I mean, physically, Trevor's got everything you want as a franchise QB, doesn't he? He's got the arm. He's got the size. He's tough. He can make every throw. It's just the other stuff that he's got to get more out of him.
Situational.
Just honing in that game a little bit more so he can be more consistent week in and week out.
All right, one more here from Liam Cohen. Again, courtesy of Jaguars.com. What do Jaguar fans need to know about him?
I think that they would like to hear, first and foremost, that we want to put together a product that they're proud of. And what does that look like? What we just mentioned in terms of that FAST acronym, but that toughness, the resiliency. Everybody goes through adversity in life, whether it's a town, a community, a city, an organization. Well, we're all at that point right now that we need to see some results, and we've got to get this thing back on track. And I hope that they would know that the resiliency's there, the care factor, the trust, hopefully, that we can build upon. But I'm very committed to trying to get this thing right for this city and for this organization.
Look, once Trent Baalke got fired, I think Jaguar fandom was going to embrace the offseason in a different way.
Yeah.
Regardless if it was Liam Cohen, Aaron Glenn,
it's a new beginning.
Patrick Graham, whomever, right?
Yeah.
But and all that's well and good, and this, overcoming adversity, and that has nothing to do with the fans or the makeup of the city. I understand people say teams reflect the character of a city. Yeah, sometimes, they do, and I would think that every city has some tough people in it, and
I
all
would
that
just
kind
say,
of thing.
for Jacksonville, look, they are more blue collar, I think, but I think it's more the fact that, look, they've really loved football here. They've shown that, college, high school, even pro, obviously. They know what good football looks like. It's not rocket science. I remember hearing players in the past, well, to the naked eye, you can't really.
Or maybe Doug Peterson going, you wouldn't understand.
Yeah, you don't understand because you don't know. But no, you know football. They know football. They know what a good, tough team looks like. I would imagine a lot of, cities do, if they have that kind of team. So I don't know if you play like your city, but I know what this city expects out of a team, and that's to be a really physical football team that doesn't make mental errors consistently during the season.
Look, in the end, even if they make a bunch of mental errors and they win, you know what I mean? Like that's going to be the sole measuring stick,
without
ultimately.
a doubt. Right.
And there are, some teams, occasionally you have a season, and I know every team deals with injury, but sometimes you have a wave of injuries at key positions. Outside of that,
right?
Then, performance is what we're expecting.
Absolutely.
Shad Khan said it. Tony Baselli has said it. Liam Cohen has said it. They've all said this does not need to be some long rebuild. So
I'm expecting winning pretty quick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's not going to be nothing for me, at least. And I know nobody here, but there's no excuses. I don't want to hear, oh, we're a young team. Oh, we're young. No. You chose your path, man. You got enough to win. You got to add to it for sure. You got to make the right player picks, to bring them in, but get it done. That's your job.
All right, when we come back in a moment, let's take a look at Super Bowl 59. Right now it's running, last I looked, at least 54-46 in favor of Kansas City on our poll, just asking you straight up, who do you think is going to win Super Bowl 59 this week? Yeah, 54-46, over 250 votes on that. So not outrageous on either side, and that kind of reflects the Chiefs being favored by 1 to 1.5 points, depending on what sports book you're looking at right now. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Tom McManus, and Dylan Denmark here with you. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL, 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. It is starting to warm up a little bit, but you still get those cool breezes in the morning sometimes, or maybe you're just driving around on a particularly cool day. You want something warm in your belly to fill you up. Dandy's got your back. No matter what it is that you're hungry for, Dandy's probably got something in that category. In fact, swing into an area gate station, head to the Fresh Case, and be amazed at the fantastic variety they have. But some of the things right now with the cool temperatures still in effect to some degree. Country sausage biscuits, a perfect twin pack to enjoy or share. An 1.5 ounce country sausage patty on each from Swaggerty, the best tasting sausage in the USA, served on a Pillsbury flaky biscuit. Their delicious meatball subs, their Boom Boom steak subs. Look, Dandy's been going on for over 60 years now, nearing 70 years as a Jacksonville-based company. When you're hungry for food and Duval on the go, Dandy's the name to know, so do what I do. Go out and make yours a Dandy. Do it today.
Jaguars Today. You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. 1010XL's Dan Hicken dominated Folio Weekly's Best of 2024. Best TV sports anchor, Dan Hicken. Best radio sports anchor, Dan Hicken. Best radio sports show starring Dan Hicken. 1010XL, the home of Dan Hicken.
Roll with Hard Rock Bet for Big Game 59 because we're rolling out over $5.9 million in bonus bets. The big game kicks off Sunday in New Orleans, but get your share of Big Easy bonus bets now so you can place more bets on us instead of using your own cash. It's the big game rollout. 5.9 million in promos only on Hard Rock Bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMITTED.
The Jacksonville Icemen are back home Friday and Saturday night as they battle the Trois Rivières Lions. Friday's game is Cancer Awareness Night, presented by Liberty Landscape. Come support the Icemen as they fight to stick it to cancer. Saturday, bring your dog to the game for Pucks and Paws Night, presented by Forever Vets Animal Hospital. 7 o'clock at ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Tickets at Ticketmaster, JacksIceman.com, or call 904-602-PUCK. Iceman Hockey is #Frozen Frenzy.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Here's good advice from your friends here at 1010XL. High Flying Jacko here, and the next time you need to send a gift for a birthday, anniversary, wedding, or just for the fun of it, call on the experts at Kuhn Flowers. For over 75 years, Kuhn Flowers does it right.
Don't miss the big game specials at Southern Steer Butcher. Check out our website for the big game snack attack, party combo, sampler combo, and the best buffalo dip you've ever had.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
Dan and Jeff take you down the fairway with the PGA Tour professionals.
Keep an eye on this one.
Crunch with the Tour.
Tour news, tips, and inside info. Brought to you by
Clearwater Irrigation. 8:30 Tuesday morning on 1010XL. The 1010XL restaurant of the day.
Moss Fire Grill in Riverside. Happy hour 3 to 7 with drafts, margaritas, and handcrafted bites starting at only $5. Moss Fire Grill.
See you on the rooftop.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TURN to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code TURN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code TURN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. No matter the weather, Triumph has an unbelievable selection of rides where you can get out and just enjoy the highway.
They do. The new Rocket is out, the new color schemes, the Tiger 1200, which has been revamped. These bikes are nice, gorgeous, and ready to ride.
And if you want to take a look at the selection, they can just roll into the showroom and see a full variety.
We've got them all in stock and ready to go.
So if you log on, cyclesofjacksonville.com, search the Triumph line, and then head into the showroom. You'll be impressed. Cycles of Jacksonville.
When
you need a mechanic you can trust, call Sam, Harry, or Joe at AA Automotive on Richard Street. From oil changes to complex engine repairs, AA Automotive promises expert service and honest pricing from a local family biz. AA Automotive on Richard Street.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. He's number 55.
Tom McManus.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window on 1010XL.
All right. This on the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures. I know everybody says we want to be tough, but he, meaning Liam Cohen, just seems like he means it. Hopefully he can make those players be like Tom McManus, one of the toughest Jags ever.
Wow, that's a nice compliment.
Very nice. That's why I read it.
Thank you very much.
I don't doubt
know.
that. You're a tough guy.
Yeah, there's a lot of tough dudes.
Sure there are.
There's a lot of tough football players. But I did like the contact a lot. It was fun for me. Big fat head running into people.
That's what you know. That was what got you to the league, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Never say die and
grit.
Fight and grit. People love that kind of player.
Yeah.
They do.
No,
right?
absolutely.
I mean, it's a very,
no doubt.
You know, it's the everyman kind of player. Like you are. I say everyman. Nobody in this room is anywhere close to the athlete you were, right? You know what I mean? But like people can relate to your perseverance.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe they made a team where they clearly weren't the best player, but they had to grind it out and got it done. And in reference, I guess, to us talking about the Niners moving off of Joe Montana, somebody said Montana went to the AFC title game with the Chiefs. Yes, he did, but we
just talked about him at training camp.
Right. I mean, they did move off of him, and they did win a Super Bowl with Steve Young.
Yeah.
And the point being, they got to a point and they said, well, you know, we can't hold Steve Young back anymore. Yep. He's the future. We're going to go with him, and they're both Hall of Famers.
I loved when Deerdorf, what did he say? Those Lord take me now because I've seen it all. That was the Chiefs and the Broncos Monday night game, Elway versus Montana. Remember that game?
Yes, I do.
That was incredible.
Boy, there are some great historic. Probably my favorite Monday night game of all time was Vinny Testaverde hung like 28 in the fourth quarter against Miami.
I remember that.
Right? I mean, just incredible. And then you had the Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
What was it? 3 touchdowns in 5.5 minutes?
It was Arizona.
Is less than. I thought it was against the Bucs.
Might have been against the. It was the Bucs.
I think it was against Tony Dungy's Bucs at one point, and Peyton led him to 3 scoring drives in under 6 minutes.
Incredible.
To go.
Yeah.
So anyway, good stuff.
Yeah.
We're at Eagles narrowing the gap on our poll, 46.3% right now. Who are you leaning towards on Sunday, Tommy, and why?
Well, I'm conflicted. Because I think on paper the Eagles are better.
I do too.
You know what I mean? But you know the thing about their big players always come up big in the big games. Like Chris Jones he didn't have a monster year, but
Chris
he'll have a
Jones
monster
might
game.
stuff that tush push at the key moment, right? I mean, the Jags did it twice.
No,
So.
right. You know, but even like Kelsey have a big game, Mahomes they have a big game. You know what I mean? Karflitis will probably have a big game. Chris Jones. You know what I mean? It's like these big players are gonna have big game. But here's the thing: I think you can run on both defenses a little bit, and if Saquon gets going, it's gonna.
You
be
think
tough.
you can run on them? They're
I
both
think
like top 10 run defense.
Oh, maybe in the postseason, but not during the regular season.
No, during the regular season.
Well, their averages weren't.
Chiefs were like 8th against the run.
They're still like 4.3 yards a carry, though. I know that's
the NFL standard it's gone up. You know, it really has.
No, I know,
Only
but I
3
don't still
teams
buy
are below 4 yards a carry defensively.
Right, but that doesn't make it good.
I'm just saying, compared to the rest of the league, it still puts them.
That's like saying, I don't know, a wide receiver in the wide receiver class that ain't that good is the best because it's a bad wide receiver.
But
you know what I mean?
It's
still not that good.
relative to their peers, they're stopping the.
They're not stopping around a 4.3, in my opinion.
Better than 75% of the teams in the league. According to the numbers,
the Chiefs are really good at not letting them score, but they're not very good on third down. They're not good. I mean, they're 8th, but they're still like 4.2, 4.3 yards a carry. I think you can run on them. I think Saquon could have a big day, but I do think Jalen's going to have to run. But to answer your question, I think the Chiefs pull it out.
You do.
I do.
And my point being, like the Chiefs, I think, Tony, this year had the reputation of winning on defense more so than And look, they didn't score 30 points until, was it against Buffalo? Was that the first 30-point game they had all year?
Something like that.
They averaged 22 over the year, 23.
Right, and so they won on the strength of their defense a lot this year. But my point is that Philly is right behind them. Like, there's this perception, and talking about run defense, overall, Philly's a better defense statistically than Kansas City
Against the
is.
pass, especially.
They are loaded at the skill positions. They have a better offensive line. Kansas City's got a good offensive line, too, now, you know. And Jeff Prosser made the point this morning, what would the line be if you switch quarterbacks in this game? Be Philly by what? 10+.
Whoa, yeah.
Right? I mean, this is a Patrick Mahomes line, and I understand why. He is already in the conversation for the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yeah.
It's that Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes thing.
Yeah.
It's hard to get past.
Yeah.
Right? When you're coming up on a game like this, it's a reason why they've won all these one-score games all season long. It's because there's something about them. They're built where that moment, they shrink those moments.
Yep.
I don't know how they do it, but they do it all the time. And it's a Super Bowl where everything tells me this feels like a one-score game.
Yep.
Right? Like, that's like everything about this feels like a one-score game to me. And it's hard for me to pick against Kansas City in a one-score game in 2024. Right?
Well,
like, just the way they're built this season, it's hard to pick against them in this kind of moment. Part of it is I picked Kansas City before the season to do the three-peat thing. Well, now they're here.
Right.
And it's not like it was some bold prediction to have them do it, but they've done it in a way that I didn't expect them to do it.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Right? Like, it's been surprising the way Kansas City has done it this season, but they're here now. And I do think, as I mentioned during the news little update thing, whatever's going on in the Philadelphia locker room with those guys being sick.
That is the one thing that scares me about this, right? Like, it's some kind of illness is going through that team, and you don't know until you get to Super Bowl Sunday because they're going to downplay it. Right. They don't want you to know, you know, who's got it, who's going to be maybe weakened a little bit. That is the one thing, Tony. That's a good point that I think – I don't even want to say levels the playing field, but can put Philly at a distinct disadvantage.
Right. Like, Tommy, can you remember a game week getting ready where you had something like that in the locker room? Where just a bunch of guys were dealing with something, and how did it affect prep for that week?
No, I remember, though, Baselli being sick the morning of the Denver Bronco upset in the playoffs. Like, he was really, really sick.
Maybe it's a good omen then.
Well, the thing about, and you guys have probably maybe played when you're sick, like the adrenaline. Now, granted, if you're sick, like you just can't move, that's a different story. But if you're coming through it and getting over it, your adrenaline will kick. You'll be tired as heck at halftime and at the end of the game, but they'll probably give you some fluids in between. It's all about staying hydrated. If it's the flu, now if it's something else, like, I don't know what it could be. Hopefully it's got, no, I'm just kidding. I won't make that joke. That just wouldn't have gone over well after last one. It didn't go over well. But so hopefully it's not anything like that. You know what I mean? Because you don't want that. Who wants that to be part of the whole thing? You want them all both at full strength, and let's go. The two best teams are going at it, and let's see who comes out victorious.
Yeah. Look, I picked Philly to win yesterday. I'm going 31-27, but I do worry. I mean, if they lose, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not going to – either way, I don't care. I'm not betting anything on it. You know, it doesn't
How do you think they win if they do win?
I just think they
I mean, is it Hurts having a monster game with A.J. Brown and
I think
Goddard?
It's a combination of Hurts and Barkley. I don't think Barkley's going for 160 or anything like that. But I think Barkley by the way, Barkley's been held under 100 total yards 3 times this year. Philly's 3-0 in those games. You know, so I think Barkley will probably make a couple of big plays. But I think if I had to bet for MVP – I'd lean towards Hurts because it's generally a quarterback award, you know, and he's plus 370, which is pretty decent odds if you think Philadelphia is going to win. So I'm going with what I think is the better roster. Look, I'm not stupid. I've seen Kansas State. I know it's going to happen if I come in here Monday. How dumb could you have been to think that they could possibly win that game? Yeah. But I really am hoping that Philly wins it on a bad referee call.
Well, I think too, like, you look at the way Philadelphia is built defensively.
Yeah,
they can really get after Mahomes.
Yeah, they got a lot
like,
of speed.
Right, like they
and power
have
up front.
the capability for that to be a difference-making kind of thing in this game. Like they can really get after him up front. So that could be a difference in this game too. And I think there's a lot of reasons why it feels like it's going to be a one-score game. It's all these things that we're talking about. It's hard for me to not pick Kansas City in a one-score game, especially in the biggest game of the year, given what we've seen them do all season long.
I want to say they're 11-1 in one-score games. Did you see that? Something like that.
Well, I
don't
got
know.
Philly 31-20, and then Kansas City makes it cosmetic with a late touchdown.
Yeah.
That's how they get to a one-score game. I don't know. I'm just look. Like I said, I really don't care. If I come in Monday and Kansas City won, whoop-de-doo.
It's, you know what, these big games, the biggest stars make the biggest plays in these biggest games.
Or sometimes it's a guy
or
like Timmy Smith who runs for 204 yards.
Yeah. Right.
Out of freaking nowhere.
Right.
Right. Although I don't think that'll happen this time around. I think if people are wondering, can Saquon run against Kansas City, I'd have to ask, can Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco run against Philadelphia?
Sure.
You know, I don't know if they're basically the same run defense wise, and one guy that they're going to be facing is superior to the other. Right. So you guys can save your pick. I got to check out of here.
Yeah.
I got something to do. I
think we picked, didn't we?
Well, did you give your score?
Oh, I didn't give a score, no.
All right, so say that. I'm going 31-27 Eagles.
Okay.
All right, and everybody enjoy Super Bowl 59.
Yes, sir.
This weekend. Consume responsibly, whatever you're consuming.
Food included.
Food included.
Don't want to hurt yourself.
A variety of beverages. You might, wine, beer, juice.
Yep.
I hear juice may be popular.
Juice. Throw some gin in there.
Some kind of juice.
Sipping on gin and juice
There's
or something
all
like
kinds
that.
of juice you might partake in.
Why does it smell like super juice?
Oh, no. All right.
boy.
That'll do it for us. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Good
carry
times.
on, and I will see you next week.
All right, buddy.
All right. Oh, by the way, Dad Bods, right?
Dad Bods tomorrow night at Iggy's Patio out in Fruit Cove. Come on up.
Charles asked, what instrument do you play, or are you the front man?
I'm the front man, baby.
The front man.
That's right. I can't play anything.
Thank you, Charles.
Except
Thank
air
you, Tom.
instruments.
Thank you, Tony. And thank you, Dylan. All right. I'll talk to you Monday. These guys will be right back with more Jaguars Today in a moment on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Awaken 180 Weight Loss, cruising into their 11th year with successfully helping people knock the pounds off, keep them off. Their founder, Paige, developed a long-term solution for weight loss over a decade ago. And in that time, they've had over 23,000 clients with a 98+% satisfaction rating. Why not? Those clients have lost a combined 750,000 pounds, and along the way helped eliminate the need for cholesterol medications, blood pressure medications, sometimes even type 2 diabetes medications. People feel better. You're going to be healthier. My numbers when I went to the doctor the last time look fantastic. I give a lot of credit to Awaken 180. You will as well. And the beauty is once you hit your goal weight, you get free support for life. It's the backbone of the Awaken 180 program, and it has been for over a decade. You can become the next Awaken 180 success story. All you have to do is log on to awaken180weightloss.com and schedule a free consultation. That's Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Jaguars Today. From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Now, Studio Talk with Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
Me and you are the same height. We're not the same height. I'm handsome tall.
The Drill.
You're the type of tall where you walk to the airport, people stop what they're eating and look at you.
Mornings.
You're like a freak.
On 1010XL.
Epic announcement. It's been cold in Florida. Epic Cool Heating and Air will tune up that furnace and keep you epically warm. Stay epically comfortable and visit epichvacservice.com. That's epichvacservice.com.
Taylor Doll here. Get your mammogram on the Buddy Bus Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 2 at the showroom of Renewal by Anderson Beach in San Pablo. Reserve your spot by calling 904-202-2499. 904-202-2499.
Hicken here with my concierge doctor, Richard Townsend. Doc T, how does a concierge direct primary care operate?
We are a membership-based primary care made directly between a patient and physician. We'll have a limited amount of patients that allows us to give unlimited access and personal service to you. This individualized approach has been shown to lower hospitalizations as well as maintain healthier lives. We also give 24/7 access via phone to me outside of our scheduled office hours.
To learn more, go to mypvconcierge.com.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyoublow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
If you're tired of weekend projects turning into weekend disasters, you're not alone. Building a fence isn't as easy as it looks. And let's face it, your neighbor still hasn't fixed his lopsided masterpiece. But Superior Fence and Rail makes it easy. Highly trained professionals, top quality materials, and a fence you'll love for years to come. Skip the stress and call the pros today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Some people say the best thing about the big game is the story.
It's what you dream of.
Stories about the stars.
I remember being in the backyard.
Stories only they can tell.
That's what I wanted to do.
Big game coverage on 1010XL is viewed through Window World of Northeast Florida.
Cannonball!
Honey, someone's in our pool.
Oh, refreshing.
John, what are you doing?
Oh, hey, Dave. Seeing as how me and the guys at Clearwater Irrigation reinstalled your sprinklers after the pool contractor ripped it out, I thought you wouldn't mind if I took a quick dip.
But in a Jaguar print Speedo?
Yeah, Dave. My bad.
Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers.
And drainage too.
Homeowners, listen up. It's time to start fresh in 2025. Prosser here, and Loan Pronto is here to help take control of your finances in 2025 by lowering your house payments and consolidating that nagging debt. Did you know that 9 out of 10 borrowers get a better deal by calling Loan Pronto? Right now, Loan Pronto has some of the most competitive offers for refis, debt consolidation, and purchase loans, starting in the low 5s APR. If your current rate is over 6%, don't settle for paying too much. Even if you're in process with another lender, call Loan Pronto now. Lock in at a lower rate today and close in as little as 2 weeks, often with no appraisal. You can even skip your next 2 house payments. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Get your personalized Loan Pronto rate quote instantly with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees. Call now, 904-999-1508, or go to loanpronto.com. That's 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
When it comes to towing products, your safety is the priority at Cannons of Jacksonville. Cannons has decades of experience to ensure your towing setup is installed with precision and reliability. Visit cannonsofjacks.com, your trusted partner for a smoother tow.
February is Cancer Prevention Month, and Ackerman Cancer Center will help you take charge of your well-being. Their new location at World Golf Village off I-95 now provides screenings for prostate, bladder, and colorectal cancers. Visit AckermanCancerCenter.com.
Transform your bathroom with stunning shower glass from Sky Glass Solutions in Jacksonville Beach. For a free quote, call 904-608-5151 or visit skyglasssolutions.com.
Hammond, Valentine's Day is coming up. Got any romantic plans?
Dad, I'm married to Clean Air. My plan is to help Jacksonville families breathe easier.
You're helpless, but Clean Air does sound nice. Can duct cleaning really help?
Absolutely. Dust, allergens, even odors can build up in your ducts. Cleaning them now makes your air fresher and healthier for your family. The EPA says better indoor air quality can reduce health risk.
So cleaning ducts are like Valentine's Day gift for the house.
Exactly. Forget chocolates. Fresh air lasts longer and doesn't melt. Plus, we've got a February special, $100 off your total.
All right, sign me up. Maybe fresh air will make Mom fall in love with me again all over.
You'll have to take her to dinner for that, but cleaner air will definitely help.
Fair enough. Jacksonville, if you're ready to show your home some love, Google Zerorez and read over 7,000 five-star reviews. Zerorez.
Spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Cerorez. Zerorez.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
As we get set to put a bow on it here on this Friday, Mike Dempsey out the door. He'll be back with us on Monday. He's got the Philadelphia Eagles winning the Super Bowl. Tommy Mack here with you. I'm Tony Smith. Dylan Denmark here as well. As we wrap it up here in just a moment, we'll give you our score predictions for the Super Bowl coming up on Sunday. We can talk about it as if it's the Super Bowl when we're not promoting anything.
That's right. Exactly.
Isn't that kind of nice? Before we get done, though, let's get out to the phone lines one more time at 641-1010. Glenn from out at the beach has dialed us up. What's going on today, Glenn?
Hey, I hope you can hear me okay. I'm in
We got
my
you.
work truck. Real quick, a couple of different things. First, the Super Bowl. My prediction is that I think people forget 2 years ago that Philadelphia got out front early and then Kansas City had a comeback. I think it's going to be the same kind of game, except there won't be a comeback. If you fast forward 2 years forward from the previous game, Kansas City's not as good, and Philadelphia is a hell of a lot better. So I think it's going to be maybe a touchdown difference by the time it's said and done. I like Dempsey's score with a 2-score lead in the fourth quarter. The other thing is, I'm a 30-year season ticket holder, and I'm thrilled with what they're doing down there. I commented on Tom's X account yesterday about it's innovative, it's fresh, it's young. They may strike out, but at least they're trying to do something different. And honestly, none of it's going to matter. None of it's going to matter if Trevor doesn't get better. If Trevor turns out to be what he's been the last 4 years as a whole, none of that stuff's going to make any difference. So,
all right, Glenn, appreciate the call, buddy. Look, we all know everything hinges on the quarterback.
Yeah.
And how well you can build it around him, Tommy. Like, I feel like the Trevor Lawrence conversation goes in whatever direction you want it to go in.
Yeah.
Essentially, I can see a player that I see the promise in Trevor Lawrence, and I've seen it show up at times. Like, I'm not going to forget the back half of the 22 season. I just won't. Right? And he played well enough to get an MVP vote. Right? The back half of that season, he played so well during that stretch. We haven't seen that for any kind of run. He's been a streaky player since he's gotten into the league. There's no denying that kind of thing. Does Liam Cohen do something to kind of unlock some kind of consistency for him? I think we all believe that it's in there.
Yeah.
Generally, people believe that it's in there. It's a matter of tapping into whatever that was for that run in 22 and for periods of runs in 23. And even last season, he had runs where that kind of thing was going on. It just hasn't been long enough periods of time yet.
Yeah, he's had some good games, the 23 and 24. He's just not consistent enough. And that is going to be up to not only Liam, but Udinsky as well, since he's known for, as we heard from the Minnesota beat writer earlier today, that he's known for helping quarterbacks. And I think it's just settling Trevor down a little bit, seeing the field a little bit better. I do think he's got to work on some mechanics. He's got a couple bad habits that I don't like. He sometimes throws with just his arm, throws off his back foot a lot, it seems. The escape to the left with the spin. We got to fix that a little bit, but that's the job of the coaches to try to settle him down. Look, you can win with Trevor Lawrence. There's no doubt you can win with Trevor Lawrence on this team. It's just a matter of playing and executing more consistently. Not just him, the receivers as well, the play calling as well, and the guys up front. Of course, you got to have the running game to go along with it. But look, it does hinge on him, and he's the number one pick in the draft, and we have high expectations. He hasn't met them consistently, but he has on occasion. Now we just got to hone it in and make him more consistent. And if he is, this team will be a pretty darn good team, as long as the defense. We keep forgetting the defense let them down last year.
Holy cow. Yeah.
Time and time and time again. I'm not saying the offense was any kind of juggernaut, because they weren't. But they had plenty of points on the board to win games and a lead in the fourth quarter, at least in the second half, and our defense blew it. So you can say all you want about Trevor, and I think a lot of it's legit, but at the end of the day, our defense is what gave us the problems last year, at least in my opinion.
What has your general reaction been to what the Jags have done so far this offseason? I mean, they have gone super young with the group that they've been brought in. What is your general overall reaction to this so far?
I'm open book. I'm waiting to see. I'm not that excited. I mean, I can't sit there and be like, man, I'm so excited. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know if Liam Cohen's the right guy.
Right.
And just because Tony says he is, that doesn't mean anything to me. I hope that's the truth. Listen, we all want him to be the guy. right? We want Liam Cohen to be a successful Jacksonville Jaguar head coach, be here for a decade, right? Being a contender, maybe 6 out of the 10, 7 out of whatever it is. Like, just that's what we want. We want some stability. We thought we had it in Doug. That's why I can't get that excited. Look, we all were the same. Come on, when Doug got here comes the Super Bowl. Did we not?
Yeah.
I know I did, because what he did in Philly was very impressive. We thought he was going to duplicate it here in Jacksonville. Obviously, it didn't work out that way. So I'm an open arm, open book. I hope it all works out, but I'm not going to give them credit for trying, like Glenn said. I'm not going to say, oh, well, you're trying something new. No, you got to get the best people in here, period, to help you win games. And if you don't, then it's not a success. It's a failure.
Right. Look, we're all excited. And look, as we say every time any of these kind of things come up, we've had to do way too many of these coaching shows and GM shows and all this kind of stuff over the last 10 years. There's been not a whole lot of stability within the organization. It felt like there was the opportunity for that coming out of that 22 season.
Yep.
We were talking about Jacksonville as a
contender,
Super Bowl contender.
Without a doubt.
Going into 2023. That's not that long ago.
Nope.
And now they're replacing the head coach and the GM. We thought there was going to be some stability with Doug Peterson as the head coach. That's just not how things turned out.
Don't think about it, okay? And we said about it when it was happening. In 2023, they were 8-3.
Yeah.
They thought they made it. They thought they had arrived. They had that beautiful new facility that the owner built for them.
They were playing for the 1 seed on Sunday Night Football.
Which is a good thing, because you want to be pampered. But you got to win when you're pampered. You know, you can't be pampered and losing, because then you're just a pampered baby. You need something. You got to win. You know what I'm saying? You want to be – don't get me wrong. I love the facility. But I think they got their head in their clouds. I think Doug got his head in the clouds. I think the staff got head in the clouds, and then it just went downhill from there. Look, man, people were so adamant that, you know, it's the coach's coach, and maybe so. We're going to find out. But the players have to execute. They got to execute the play that's called. And let's be honest, they didn't do that consistently on either side of the ball the past year and a half. They just haven't.
Right.
So how do you win with that? You can't win with that. Execute the play call. I'm not saying all the play calls are good. Don't get me wrong. But enough were good, and you either dropped the ball, threw it in the wrong spot, gave up a sack, illegal motion, lined up the wrong way, did whatever, you know, didn't do your job, basically. And that's why we are, 5-18 the past 23? I don't think we're a terrible, talented team. I think we got enough talent. And I thought that for a couple years. The problem is we got the wrong attitude. So hopefully with Liam Cohen and the staff and Tony and everybody involved, they get a new attitude in that locker room. Because I didn't like the attitude the past 2 years.
I know when we were talking Hall of Fame early on in the show this morning, Tommy, you mentioned the name that you mentioned immediately was Luke Kuechly. And to kind of exhibit where the Hall of Fame process is at this moment for people who may not understand, Luke Kuechly played in the NFL for 8 years.
Yep.
He won Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Yep.
He was a 5-time first-team All-Pro.
All-Pro.
And he was a second-team All-Pro the other 2 years that he wasn't Rookie of the Year.
Right.
Like, he is one of those guys, when you pull up his Pro Football Reference page, it's all black ink, right? It's all the bold ink. He's leading in this, first-team All-Pro. He's the kind of player whose resume screams first ballot. Like, that's his resume screams first ballot. And wherever the Hall of Fame process is right now, that guy can't even get in.
That's crazy.
Right? With what they're doing currently in the process. So it leaves you, I have felt like Fred Taylor is going to get in at some point, It's where the process is right now makes me nervous.
I'm nervous, too.
For Fred and Jimmy.
I thought this was the year for Fred. I really did. Being the only running back in the top 15, you went across the board. Now, granted, we didn't know they were only going to have 3 guys from the modern day era, right?
Yeah.
And, of course, Sterling.
They changed that kind of rule thing with the 80%. This is the year they've started that.
And I still don't, how does Kuechly not get 80%? You know, who's voting against that kid? Are you saying he didn't play long enough? Come on, 8 years, he was the best linebacker, or one of the best, if not the best, every year.
He was the first or second best as selected
right.
for 7 of the 8 years. And the other one, he was a rookie and was the best defensive rookie in the league. That year. Like, as far as accolades go, there's nothing else basically he could have done. You know, to improve on that kind of thing. I don't expect that they're going to make Aaron Donald wait.
No.
You know, when he gets there.
He was a difference maker.
So
was Kuechly.
That kind of thing.
I'm surprised Suggs doesn't get more love. He's got 3 more sacks than Jared Allen. Jared Allen, 136. He had 139. He was a beast.
Yeah.
Total beast. I'm surprised he doesn't get more love in that Hall of Fame voting world.
No doubt.
You know?
And, we already heard Dempsey. He gave his pick and the score that he had for the Super Bowl coming up on Sunday. I think we're both going – I'm going with Kansas City.
Yeah, I'm going to too. I think it's going to be tight. But.
Yeah, I think I'll go with 27-24 Chiefs.
Okay.
Is where I'll put it. Where would you put it, Tommy?
I think the spread's 1. I think it's going to be a 1-point game. I really do. I'll go 31-30. Is that too close to Demps? It's too close to Demps. I'll go 29-28.
29-28 for the Chiefs. As I was talking to you about during the break, too, I can understand some of the reaction from NFL fans in general watching Kansas City get in, and they have this idea that the referees are on Kansas City's side, which every time it gets brought up, I think it's ludicrous. It's like, then stop watching. But you got a bunch of fans that have been saying, I'm not going to be watching this week. For the life of me, can't understand that. It's one of these things where you're telling me you don't expect me to watch a Super Bowl where I get to watch Patrick Mahomes and Saquon Barkley.
I'm watching every Super Bowl.
I'm watching every Super Bowl anyway, but I have talked about this kind of thing before where if the NFL sent me something in the mail and asked me to sign to say, would you be in favor of Patrick Mahomes being on prime time football every week?
Yeah.
I would sign. I would say yes.
Yeah.
That's how much I enjoy just watching him play the game.
Yep.
And, when we're talking about like a one-score thing, one-score games means at some point, it's overwhelmingly likely Mahomes is going to do something where you go, holy cow.
Yep.
What just happened?
Yep.
How can he make that kind of thing happen? He is such a special player. I don't care about the family stuff. I don't care about the Chiefs stuff. I don't care about any of that. I enjoy watching him play football, and that I get to do it in another big time. I never was a fan necessarily of Tom Brady, but I was never bored of watching him in these big moments.
No, especially in the big games. And look, go back to 2022 with Mahomes. We thought we had him in the ankle and everything. Then he takes off down the middle. You're like, how does that guy do that? And we were talking, remember when he struggled against Tampa, the team did, but he balled his butt off, man. He was making plays. I mean, he had mistakes too, but you talk about a competitor. That guy, look, I know a lot of people out there don't like the three-peat. I love the three-peat because it's so hard to do. I mean, they don't get the reps. They don't just show up. Andy Reid's a great coach. Spagnuolo's a great coach. They got great players. They got a great culture. They got a great history. They just got it going on. And every franchise wants to be like Kansas City, to have those kind of – you go look back at Mahomes, he's 7 years in? He's either in the AFC Championship game or the Super Bowl almost, if not every year.
Every year.
Right? I mean, come on. That guy is special. So, and then on the other side, look, I like Jalen Hurts. I think he's an absolutely great quarterback. I do think he's going to have to take off and run. I do. I think when pressure comes, he's going to have to escape and make things happen with his legs. But look, at the end of the day, if Saquon gets going, Saquon's another guy. How do you not want to watch Saquon Barkley? I'll tell you what I want to watch. Can they bottle him up?
Yeah.
Because if they do, they're going to win this game, Kansas City. And I don't even mean like shut him down. I just mean bottle him up. Don't let him get an 80-yard run.
Control it somehow, because Saquon can take over the game.
One crease.
Yeah, that's
smell you later.
That's for sure.
He's like Freddie Taylor now.
To this point.
Yeah, absolutely,
It's been special. Before we wrap it up for the week, let's say hello to the ladies of Helmets and Heels out at JU.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. Find the coolest cats in town at coolcatsjacks.com.
Hello, Lauren. I can see they got you guys indoors, so you don't have to sit out in whatever's going on with the weather today. Yeah.
Oh, the weather's not so bad, Tony. Hello. Happy Friday. Yeah, we're here at Rock Stadium on the lovely campus of JU, and we've got women's lacrosse going on directly behind us, and so that's going to be exciting as JU plays host to number 3 Michigan. So there's a top 5 team in women's lacrosse here in town, so hurry on up and get to JU's Rock Stadium. But, the weather is overcast right now, but I believe it's going to be sunny here in the next hour or so.
Okay. Well, would you rather be sitting out in the sun or in the shade in AC?
Well, I love the sun, but this setup really is perfect, like I said, with the lacrosse field directly behind us, so we're in one of the press boxes. So I certainly can't complain, unlike Fred Taylor, who certainly can complain today.
Yeah, he can definitely complain. I tell you, there should be a rule change in women's lacrosse, LB. You know what it is? Let them
Don't
use
tell me.
their sticks. You know how vicious you women would be with those sticks? You'd be worse
Yeah,
than the
you're
men.
right.
You should let them go at it.
I would like to take on Nikki Glazer with a stick. How about that?
Ooh.
I don't know if y'all were watching the NFL Honors Live last night when she tried to throw shade at the city of Jacksonville, but yeah, she can shove it.
Give her a stiff jab to the upper lip.
I'm sure you'll
That's right.
be getting into your Super Bowl picks today. We've officially put ours in. So we both took Kansas City. Dempsey had Philadelphia. I won't spoil y'all's picks. Y'all can make that through the next couple of hours. What do you got coming up today on Helmets and Heels?
Yes, we'll certainly do that. We'll talk about the NFL honors last night. And then the athletic director of Jacksonville University, Alex Ricker-Gilbert, will join us here live at 12:40. And then at 1 o'clock, Ben Gessling will join us. I know Dempsey mentioned that earlier today. He wrote that great article about Grant Udinsky in the Minnesota Star-Tribune. So we'll delve into all things Grant U and have a lot of fun today.
All right, ladies, have a wonderful show. We'll be
Thanks so much. Y'all have a
listening.
great weekend.
Thank you. You too, as we get ready for the Super Bowl. So everyone out there, enjoy your Super Bowl weekend, however you celebrate it. And look, it's the Super Bowl, man.
It's a national holiday,
Right.
man.
It
They should
happens-
have school off tomorrow.
Yeah, I know you got the Dad Bods playing tomorrow night, correct?
We are down at Iggy's at Fruit Cove, and I'm actually headed over to a recording studio, Tone, to sing a tune that I co-wrote with my friend Damien. So
That's
looking
fun,
forward to doing that. Haven't done that before. You know, you only live once, so you might as well give it a shot.
Well, I hope you'll at least let me hear it next week.
Yeah,
when we
maybe it'll
get
be
you
done.
back
You never know.
for
I hear
the
it's
show.
pretty tedious. Like, you got to go over line after line after line, but I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
going through the process.
No doubt. So that'll do it for us today on the show. For Tom McManus, for Dylan Denmark, and Mike Dempsey, I'm Tony Smith. Enjoy your Super Bowl weekend, everybody. Helmets and Heels coming up next right here on 1010 XL.
Why does my burger smell like stripper juice?